Welcome to Tech Brothers with Damer. In this video, we are going to learn how to create tables dynamically from flat files and load data in SSIS package. So let's go ahead and take a look what we have. We have different files sitting here. We have text files and they're comma delimited files. So I have Asia TechBrothersIT file that has ID, name, and date of birth and one record there. So other files pretty much have the same columns here, but in one of the file we have a product.txt that has product name and description. So doesn't really matter, as they can have a totally different column, they can have the same columns as long as they are .text files and they qualify with the comma delimited or maybe pipe delimited, whatever we have explained in the package, we should be fine. They should be read by SSIS package, and the new table should be created with the file name, whatever the file name beside the extension. So this should be file name, and the data should be loaded to that file. Data should be loaded to that table from this file. So in this case, it should create 4 tables and load the data from each of them. Now let's go ahead and create our SSIS package and take a look. Now first let me show you the tables. We do not have these tables here. So these are 3 tables there, but none of them does look like these file names. So we are okay with that, and open the SSDT SQL Server Data Tools. Go to the SSIS packages, right click, new SSIS package, and rename that one. Load flat files dynamically. I'm not going to care about the spellings here, and go to the variables, create the variables as the variable give us chance to make our package more dynamic. We can change the we can use the variables in the configuration and pass different values, and our package can behave accordingly. So this is a really cool thing. I really insist at creating variables. So first of all, folder path as source folder, that's where our files are. And think about that in QA, UAT, and production, this path can be totally different for your source, where the files will be. Archive folder, that's where we would like to archive folder, that's where you would like to archive your files after loading, and you will add date time part to it. Now we have a log folder, that's where we would like to create the log in case error happen in the script task. Now what type of files we would like to load, that we are going to tell extension. In this case we are loading .text files txt, but tomorrow you change your mind, you want to say, okay, I will get all the file, they will be .csv. So this is the only place where you need to make a change, and you can use this variable in configuration and update the configuration to .csv. That's why I like these variables and making the package more dynamic. Here file extension, we have file delimiter as well. Instead of commas, we might start getting files with the pipe, so you can change right here. Rest of that things will be same, and you are creating new tables. In which schema would you like to create these tables? I'm gonna go ahead and say schema name, and let's say here we have staging schema, that's where we would like to create these tables. Now the other part, columns data type, that's also important, as the file will come in with different data types. Maybe we have text data, we have integer data, it is really hard to find out what type of data type is that without looking at the file. So I am going to use this one as a staging. Okay, I will dump the data as maybe varchar, let's say varchar 100 everything, and then from there, once the data is in that table, you use that as these tables as a staging, and then use different tasks or TSQL to convert according to the data type what you like. And you would see here there could be a lot of scenarios, and I would like to talk a little bit about that. If I am designing this entire process, and people say, okay, you can get any type of files, fine, .text files with the comma, there could be tons of columns, fine, I'm okay with that. I will take all those columns, create a what you call the table, okay, and have the list of the columns. I would not care about the file, and then provide the data type, what data type it should be. So I will consult with the file provider and say, okay, these columns, you gave me 100 columns, 200 columns, whatever, what data type they should be. And once I have the list of that columns with the data type in my SSIS package, I can go back to that table and pick the data type for those tables. Then I will create a new table depending on that data type. But here I don't have that scenario, so I don't care. I'm gonna just use the varchar 100, you use n varchar 400, whatever the data type you work for you. I'm using them as a string. But I gave you the concept. You can create a table, and by mapping those column list there, and once you read each column from here, you can go back to that table. That is your master table with the column names and data type. You can get the data type for that column and then create your new table with exact data, what exactly your company is proposing, whatever they want to be. This, let's say date of birth, they want to have this one as a date. So if there is a master table that has the date of birth as a date, I will go and grab that date type column, data type for the date of birth, and create accordingly. So this can be done. This is not hard. This will be an extra query in the same package, and I might go and do it for you guys, but in this one I'm not doing it. So in this, we consider everything we are loading as data type, whatever the data type we have it, we are going to use as a string or varchar or n varchar in this scenario. Now let's go back to the package. Enough talks. I'm not sure how much you guys like me when I talk, but there are a lot of scenario I want to tell you guys. It's brainstorm. This is exactly you want to talk with your managers, with your architects, when you are designing these SSIS packages. I ask them these questions. Hey, if this happened, what you want? So archive. So I'm passing the values for the folders. Log. Good. Now save the package, bring the script task here. Before we even open the script task and start using these variables, as we are loading the data to the tables, we need the connection string for our database. So go to connection managers, new ADO.NET connection, and here we will be creating the new one. So you have to provide SQL Server instance name, and then we will be providing the database name. So TechBrothers, sorry, fine. Let's rename this TechBrothers Amir PC. I wanna give some proper name. So connection underscore TechBrothersIT. So that's the once you use in configuration, you can tell like, oh, okay, this is the one of the connection manager, and it belongs to the TechBrothersIT database. So DB, it's a database connection. Okay, and this is the database name. Fine, go ahead and start using it. I'm using C# in this demo. You can use a VB if you like. I'm not gonna provide Visual Basic code, but you can convert, take this code, and there are online websites, they can convert your C# code to the VB if you like. So use select all those user data variables, hit OK, and click edit script. Once that's open, we are gonna go to the techbrothersit.com and copy the code and paste it there. So let's go to techbrothersit.com, and here we have SSIS video tutorial. Once you are there, you go further down and you will find a script task. Once you are in the script task, you will find dynamic text or CSV file with the script task. Now you have it. And the number 4, how to create tables dynamically from a flat file and load data to it. Okay, great. Now you see that I have everything already, like pictures and everything. If you don't want to watch the video, fine. You don't want to waste the time listening me, okay, you can read the post and work through. Here come to the step 4, and we have some namespaces, those we need to add. Copy, and I'm gonna go back to the script. Here we have namespaces, region, and I'm gonna paste. As I'm reading the files, I'm gonna use system.io namespace, methods and instances, and then I'm going to use system.data.sql client namespace to write the data to the SQL Server tables. I will use different methods and instances from this namespace. Come to the public void main, that's our main function. Delete this line because I have already included in the code. Come back to the TechBrothersIT, and here is our script. Copy all the script till here, copy, and go back to your editor and paste. Now you save it and build it. Build will be successful. Even you will have some problems here, such as let's say if you have a incorrect variable name here, it's not going to take care of it. And even you have an incorrect connection manager name here, it's not going to care about it. It is going to check syntax and namespaces and all that, but the variable name you have to take care of. So first of all, what I'm doing here, I'm saying okay, string date time, and then I'm saving the year, month, day, hour, minute, and second to this variable. So I can use to create the error log with the date time when I need it in case of error happen. Then in the try log, I'm declaring these variables. So I declare the variable pretty much for every SSIS variable, and then save the SSIS variable values to these variables. Why? Because, excuse me, I do not want to use a dts.variables, user source folder, and the .value.toString. This whole thing I don't want to use in multiple places. It will make my code lengthy. Once I have that, I will still make sure source folder, file extension, file delimiter, archive folder, columns data type, and schema name. These are the variables I have it. So it looks good. Archive folder, columns data type, file delimiter, file extension, log folder, schema name, and source folder. Make sure they are in the same case, lowercase, uppercase, because these are case sensitive. Now come back, and here this line of code is going to help me to read all the file which has extension asterisk, and here asterisk tells us whatever the name is, we don't care, like a product, customer, TechBrothersIT. So we don't care about the name. What we care about the extension .txt. So in our case, if we have a put a .txt, it is going to read the text files. Okay, let's experiment. Put a new file, that's the Excel, and let's see if this will be read or throw an error and say okay, I cannot load this one. It should not even consider this file at all. Sometimes you have the same folder where people put different files, and you need to read only those specific files, such as we are reading .text files. All right, come back. Now this part can be, you can put outside of the for each. I just wrote it there. I don't know, I was being lazy, or I didn't pay attention at that time, but it's gonna work here or here, doesn't really matter. So now you come back here and change the connection manager according to your connection manager name, TechBrothersIT. So that's what you will do. And now as we have the list of the files here, and we are going to use the for each loop to loop through those files, I declare some variables called, this is string table name, counter integer, and then I have line string type, and I have column list. What I'm doing here, I'm saying system.io.steamreader source file, and read me this file name. So once you read me, then use the while loop, and you are going to read me every line. So that tells read till end of the lines. If counter is equal to 0, what does that mean? As we have defined counter 0, and it start reading the first line, yes, it is true. That means this is the line that is going to read our header information. So once we read the header information, we are building this entire query for creating an object. So you see column list, I'm saying okay, use this line. So if I read this first line, this is the line I read, then okay, I am putting a parenthesis around, I'm putting a, let me show you, I'm putting the parentheses around here, and replacing the file delimiter, that's a comma, and I'm replacing that one with the, see, I need to put parenthesis close, parenthesis open, and all that. So I'm replacing with that. So you see here this one, and then at the end I'm closing the parentheses. So this is just, I'm building a list of the columns. Now table name, I want file name, and I'm replacing the source folder path. I don't want the source folder path, so I removed it. I removed the extension, and I also removed the slash. So rest of that will be left with only the file name. So this part will be left only for me. So this whole thing will be removed, and also the extension. Let's go to the next line. Now I'm checking if exist. If the table does exist, I want to drop that table. So I'm checking from the system.objects where object ID, and then I'm putting the schema name and table name. It will check the table name. If it does exist there, okay, drop the table. And that's my requirement. In your requirement, you might want to say if the table exists, you want to truncate the table and load it. Your choice. But in my case, I will go ahead and drop it and recreate with the new definition. And here I'm saying okay, create this table, drop the table, and then I'm saying table, drop this table. So this is going to drop the table, and then I'm saying create table, schema name, table name, and then line. That's the first header line, and replace the delimiter. So with the same thing, I'm putting the parentheses around, and then saying column data type. Remember, I have defined varchar 100. So you can define varchar and varchar 400, varchar max, whatever according to your file's data. Then I'm just adding these parentheses around. So building the entire create statement. Once the statement is ready, I can go ahead and run it, and it will create the table for me. This is when the first line will be read. Now it is going to go to next and say counter is plus plus. That means the counter is no more 0. So it will come to the else part for the next lines. That's data lines, data rows. Okay, in those rows, what we do? Insert into schema name, table name, and the column list. So we need to insert the data, and we have values, and we are reading the row, and then or reading the record, and then replacing the delimiter with the comma and colons around at it is string values. So once that's done, we are all set. Now if you want to go ahead and remove these message boxes, you can remove it. You will see what I'm talking about. Also you can put the message box here, so every time a table statement will be ready, you will see that what table statement it created. I use them to create the kind of when I get the errors and all that, I use them, take them from here and put an SSMS and run them and see if they're really working, because a lot of kind of dynamic things that happen in here. I'm putting double quotes, single quotes, spaces and all, so we do make mistakes. And once that all the data is loaded, we close the file, and then we move the file. We say file.move. Okay, this is the file source path, this is the archive path, and backslash. We are replacing the source path with the blank, then I'm replacing the extension with the blank, so it will be left with only the archive path and file name. Then I add the underscore and that date time, and then I add extension back to it. All right, so now it will be success if it will come here. If it will not, then it will come here in the catch block, and that's where we are writing the file, and we call it error log underscore date time, so dot log. So if the error happen, that's where it will come, and the exception will be written to that file. Awesome, that's a lot of talk. Now you have multiple line files, so this part is going to repeat for each of the file till here. Okay, now close it. Let's I will make the copies of these one. Let's say if I have them already. No, I don't. So in case I'm gonna come back and make some changes, so I don't have to worry about that, I can come back and paste it in the main folder for now. And in the source we have 1 2 3 4 files. Actually this one will not be loaded, this will not be moved into anywhere. In the archive we don't have anything, so these 4 files should be moved to the archive once we run the package. Come back, hit OK, run the package. Okay, failure. That's great, because we wanted to see if the error file is generated. So let's go and see in the log, and we see that error is generated. Let's open that. Cannot the element cannot be found in the collection, and here we see that variables. I made a mistake in the variable name, so I need to fix that. Sometime we feel like, okay, we are writing everything correct, but somewhere we made some mistake. Last in the a couple of videos ago, what I did, I made a mistake. I was missing in the count I was missing COU, so the U was missing, so it took me like some time to fix that. and let's open it and see which variable is missing or is telling us. Pay close attention, and if you guys can tell me, go ahead and tell me. And I'm sure in the last video when I was doing corrections, there were so many people, they would say, oh, right there, but I couldn't hear you. So we have source folder, source folder. So okay, fine. File extension, fine. File delimiter, okay, looks good. Archive, okay, looks good. And columns data type, and we have only schema name left here. I don't see that there is an error. And log folder, the last one. So we have here log folder. Yeah, see, even we really can't tell like what is the issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some breakpoints and try to figure out. You guys, I'm not sure if you are happy with me or not, but I have to do this. So let's TechBrothersIT, yeah, that looks correct. Now we save it, and finally I'm gonna go ahead and also put a breakpoint here in case this is the issue. Close it and save your script, run it. Okay, it's gonna take a few seconds because it's what it is doing right now. It is opening on the script task editor, and then let us walk through the line of code when we will hit next, and we will literally see like what is the issue, and at least where exactly is the issue happening. Because see, from here, from the error information, I could not really tell. Like it will be much nicer if it will say like, okay, this is the exact variable name. I could not find. So that's very limited error. I know it is not finding element. By what element you are talking about? Okay, variable, fine, but what variable? Tell me the name. I'm interested to learn more as a name. Here, see, we have these arrow here, and we can go to next. So once we'll okay, first pass successfully, file extension pass, file delimiter pass, archive folder passed, column data types passed, schema name, that's also passed, looks like. And we are here, log folder. And again we see that let's open this one again, cannot found in the collection. Let me go back, and I see DB connection TechBrothersIT. It's still the variable. Maybe we are missing some variable. Archive, column type, delimiter, file extension, log. This is really annoying. I don't like this part at all. Okay, what do you guys think? Maybe we have the variables here, fine, we have all the variables, and this is our connection, DB TechBrothersIT, fine. What else we have? We don't have variables right here. Okay, one thing, I will go ahead and I'm gonna save this one and come back real quick. I'm not going anywhere, but what I want to do, I want to go check the list here. Maybe I'm missing something here I did not include. So here we have user, fine, I have user here included, I have user here included, user here included, and I have user here included. Look at this one, this was missing. So schema name we did not include here. I really love Microsoft for these things. I mean, somehow, how will it hurt if you will have kind of sorting here. If you somebody click here, you will give them the list of the users variables in the top, and then give them the system variables in the down. Or let's say you always give us the users variables on the top and or bottom, whatever, but give us somewhere like if I will have 100 variables, how this is helpful, like how I'm gonna go and find each of the user and keep clicking. So why not you give me here, and I at least I have some type of see, I'm trying to God. So let's cancel this out. Let's see if it is still same in that. Okay, so but anyways, I'm not complaining, but somehow it will be nice if you will give me that facility. That will help. Hit OK, and now we can go ahead actually edit script, and I'm gonna remove those breakpoints. I don't need that because that's where I was missing the schema name. Okay, let's remove these. We are good. We shouldn't be having a problem now. But that was good. At least we got that, and we see that what could be the issues. Sometimes you can struggle for hours on these kind of issues. So we are really in good shape as we were able to find the solution, or at least the error in real quick. Good job. And another error happened. Now let me go and see the error. Okay, the specified schema name staging. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys, because in the script we are not creating schema if it does exist or does not exist. We are not checking that. So you have to have this schema created in the database before. So I'm gonna go ahead and create schema. And run this one. So we have staging schema now, and no table is created because schema was not there, so we got the error. That was correct error. I like that. Our error login is working perfect and giving us information what we need. Now let's go back and run it. And this is what I was talking about. If exist, that's the statement it is creating for creating a table. So you can, if you want to copy from here, you can't really do it. So you click here, press Ctrl A and Ctrl C. Once you do it, you don't see anything really happen, but it is already copied to the clipboard. So if you come back and paste it here, see, this is already here. So you can copy kind of this message and bring it to the SSMS and take a look what exactly it is. So see, I was checking if the object this table does exist. Okay, drop it, and then from drop then go ahead and create it. I have used varchar 100, and that's where it is creating every column with the varchar 100 with the in staging schema. This is the table name. Great. We are going to go ahead and say hit OK. This is the value it is inserting. So now let it insert, creating second table, inserting values, third, inserting values, fourth, inserting values. So, and I don't have a whole lot of records. I have a couple of records in each of them, and that's why it is fast. In your case, you don't want to have message boxes when you are inserting 100 record or 200 or 500. In my case, it was just for the test purposes. Go to the tables, and here you can see these tables are right there. So let's say we go to product and select. We see that product name and product description, and even our tables are created with hyphen and spaces because we have put the parentheses around it. So this is really awesome. I like that. So we are able to create the table for each of the file, load the data, and now one more experiment what we would like to do. And here we go to the source, and Excel file is sitting there. Remember, we are only reading .txt file, so it's not going to even touch other files. And go back to the archive, and here those files are archived after the date time added to them. That's really awesome. I like that. Now if I will go and change the product, just let me copy all of them actually. Copy, go to source again and put the files there. And here, let's say if I want to have a product, but this time I want to have only CSV. So now this product is the only CSV file. The rest of them are, one is Excel, the rest of them are .txt. I will come back here, and now I'm going to change the CSV. So see, it still has the same delimiter, but the extension is changed. So I will be only handling CSV files moving forward. Even if there are text files and I don't care about them. I'm gonna just use one file, that is CSV sitting there. It can be 100 files, CSV file that is gonna create the table and load the data. Okay, see, good job. Now come back here, go to tables, and we should see CSV file. This, see, remember it is created and we can see the data. Great. Let's do another experiment here. Now we have this Asia Tech Brothers, and instead of we will moving forward, think about it, we'll have the pipe sign as the delimiter, and we'll have CSV extension. So if I will go ahead and create the change extension, I want to come back and provide okay, my package is going to take the CSV files and it should take those files where we should have these files always come with the pipe delimited. They will be CSV and they will be pipe delimited. Fine. So save it, run it. Now it should be only loading the CSV file, and as we have a pipe as a delimited for that file, we will be getting the data and loading. Great. Come back to SQL, refresh the tables, and we can see this one right here, and the data is loaded. Great. Thanks very much for watching this video. I'm going to put the script in the description, and I hope this is going to help and you guys learn some lesson from here. I'm really sorry for taking some time and putting in the debugging mode. I don't know, like this is sometime, but this is really helpful. A lot of people learn from it, and I really recommend watching other videos instead of you guys send me message. I love your message, is great, but I would just recommend come into Tech Brothers SSIS tutorial and at least read through this one. If you don't read, fine. Say okay, I want to just find Excel, so just control F Excel. So you type it, you will see, okay, these are tons of things highlighted with Excel. So let me see which one I can use for my project or create a package according to this requirement. So that will help, you know. I really want you guys to start using this TechBrothersIT SSIS video tutorial. There are a lot of posts I have written on the interview questions with SSIS, and I will say you can use them anywhere in your real-time scenarios. People ask the same questions. I have created tons of videos and written every post, so you see that all those links are there. You go through them, and you might be looking for your next SSIS package, and you don't find in the video tutorial, you might find it in SSIS interview questions. I have covered on the both places. So good luck, and thanks for visiting website and watching the videos. I appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video.